I'm sure a lot of people leave their coaches to go to you, right? And maybe some left you for other coaches.
What I want is to create replicable success.
You love the pressure.
I'm setting myself always the highest goals. It's a combination of pressure and fun and excitement.
What about the age of a bodybuilder? For example, you coach William Bonac, he's in his 40s, right? And Urs is in his 20s. There's a different approach to how, depending how old they are?
You know, recovery gets worse and worse and worse with every year of getting older. That's for sure one point, which is very important. And sometimes, but that's not always the case, when you're older, you have more injuries you need to take care of. In general, I would say it's different to coach young or older people, because in older, you just need to take more care about recovery. You need to take more care about health time. Sometimes metabolism gets slower, not in every case, but there are definitely differences when it comes to age.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about what I'm noticing at the top pros in the bodybuilding industry? I've noticed a lot of them do like coach jumping, you know, they go from one coach to the other coach. How do you feel about that? Do you think it's a good thing that they do a lot of moving around, you know, or let's say they lose a show, they right away switch the coach? How do you feel about this industry in general, being the coach? I'm sure a lot of people leave their coaches to go to you, right? And maybe some left you for other coaches. Like, do you think that really matters?
You know, it's people are fluctuating, so that's just something which is natural. So first, not every working style is fitting every person. Person have different needs, so that's fully normal. That people change or want to work something or want to do something different, because every person has his own style. You know, when it comes to me, I'm very direct, I'm very honest, I'm very short in everything I do, based to the essential thing, because what I want is to create replicable success, you know, and for that everything must be you need to know every step and every system. Nothing should happen on purpose. That's why I'm very direct, very simple, that I can reproduce every success as much as I want. You know, I think that's kind of my specialty, that the people, when I found out what works for them, are always 95% on stage. That's just something which is very important for me. But even the athlete needs to get along with the way I communicate, with how I communicate, and I can totally understand if that's not everybody's case, because I'm quite stubborn in the way I do things. On the other hand, people just sometimes have a false expectation of their potential, or what can be the come out of a show. And then there are people out there who will promise them whatever, you know, and that's also a reason why it comes to show hopping, coach hopping. But yes, there are reasons why I can fully understand. Sometimes I can understand it when you try to work something out and try to find a way for a specific person, and you are in the middle of a process when they then go away and the whole process starts by itself, and again and again and again. But that's mostly then when people are not getting to the total top, because the consistency is just missing.
Which coaches inspired you, if any at all? And any coaches that you respect in the business?
Oh yeah, there are a few coaches I respect most of them, I would say, because every coach has, you know, Hany did so much great things, and has such a high winning record. It's incredible. Chris Aceto, Chet Nichols, they all did great things with of the athletes, but also unknown coaches like Mauro Sassi, who he really breathes the sport and works so close with his clients, or from Spain, Francisco Espin, who is just a great guy who loves bodybuilding, Milos, who is breathing bodybuilding, you know. So I will find everything for nearly every coach. I will find something which makes him really special and which makes him kind of adorable, you know. But I never had a role model. I just went my own path, and I think I did a lot of things differently than most of the others. But that doesn't mean that I don't respect the others or think that the others are bad. I just have my own way of doing things.
Speaking of Hany Rambod, were you surprised when he a couple of weeks ago announced that he is no longer going to be coaching? And I guess I don't know if he's a retirement per se, but he's saying he's taking a break at least, or maybe retiring.
You know, as I coach a few guys who had been coached by Hany before, I knew that he is pulling back, so it didn't surprise me that much.
I see what you're saying. Well, do you think Hadi Chupan, if Hany is in fact not going to train him anymore, do you feel like he might be going to face some difficulties? Because Hany, they spoke the language, you know what I mean? He understood him.
I really can't. I don't know it, but I really can't imagine that they are not talking to each other anymore for future projects. I just, you know, they were so close. They are like father and son, I would say.
I agree. I feel like Hany's not going to fully retire. I feel like he's going to continue.
Just be getting it a little bit quieter, whatever. But we will see.
So talk to me about Shaun Clarida. So Shaun Clarida did the Olympia 212. He got second place, and then immediately, I guess maybe not immediately, but then suddenly he was working with Matt Jensen for quite some time, for the whole career, I think.
No. He's before Matt, I think. I'm not sure.
But he got all his success basically with Matt Jensen, right? And then immediately he joined your team. Tell me what happened. How did it come about? And then of course is he focused on Men's Open right now?
No, it's just a short story. It was after the Olympia. I said we met in front of the hotel. I said, "Hey, Shaun, I congratulate you." He said, "We talk later." 2 days later, he phoned me. That's the story. So quite easy one. I said to him, and he definitely did that. Please talk to Matt before and show him or talk with him and share your thoughts with him. And then he called me back that he talked with him and said that he wants to start to work with me. And for me, that's really a project I love to do, because I always loved Jean's physique. I liked his crazy fullness and his density in the body. The focus is definitely the 212 Olympia. But when it comes, I'm one of those guys who likes that his people compete. You know, not just one time at the Olympia. I like them to compete several times. And when it comes to competing with Shaun, I think he's just, or it's understandable that sounds now strange, but competing in the 212 outside of the Olympia is quite a boring thing. So he does the open shows outside of the Olympia, and I like that idea, and it's kind of cool because he has the potential to win nearly every open show also. So he showed that in Prague. He just looked absolutely brilliant, and I'm sure that within the next year we can even bring a better package on stage. The people will love.
Do you feel pressure because Shaun is somebody who already won the 212 Olympia, right? He's already established. Do you feel, as a coach, do you feel pressure to even better him after that, make him better? I mean,
I just, for sure there is pressure, but I love what I do. I love the work, and I'm setting myself always the highest goal. So it's a combination of pressure and fun and excitement. And I would say the positive things are definitely more in my mind and in my way of how I work than negative ones.
you love the pressure.
Yeah. kind of cool.
For sure. So I want to ask you about William Bonac.
Mhm.
William Bonac is somebody who, obviously a great bodybuilder, right? I thought he was going to win I personally thought his physique was always amazing, and I thought he was going to win the Olympia, maybe 5, 6 years ago, right? Now he's still obviously an Olympian. He just did the Olympia, right? I think he got, was it six? I forgot what place he got. Sixth place? Seventh place, okay.
Mhm.
Do you think he's somebody that can still win the Mr. Olympia, or do you think he's already past his prime? And I'm asking because I thought he was going to legitimately win the Olympia. Like his physique was phenomenal.
William is really an incredible athlete in all aspects. From when we talked before, what it needs to get a champion, he really has everything, and he also has everything which still brings him progression in a higher age. We started working, it's nearly exactly 1 year ago. And he came out of a period with no training, not looking about food, with a little bit more than 90 kilograms, looking maybe the worst he's ever looked. And the speed he progressed and won then the first show, the Empro, with about 103 kilogram 8 months later, no, 7 months later, was just crazy. So that showed me that there is still a lot of potential. Also at the Olympia, the prep wasn't the easiest one. He got father once again. He had construction work at home. So especially the Olympia prep could have been easier, and he still managed to get in a really good shape and package back on that stage, and improved his placing from 2 years ago. So it's definitely not over, and he can easily crack that top 5. And at the Olympia, it's always a combination. What can you bring, and what do the others bring, and how is the competition going, and who are the judges allowing to stand next to each other? So Williams' time definitely isn't over.
No, I mean, I hope to see him more, because I just feel like there's so much more competition now, right? Like the Samson has just became such a power force. And of course, there's others, you know what I mean? But it's becoming, it's becoming more difficult. So I hope to see him again on Olympia stage for sure.
Yeah, he will definitely be back on the Olympia stage. So we are planning already the next year, and William loves to compete, and he's definitely not the guy who is just doing one show a year.
Is it awkward for you to coach same athletes in the same division competing for the same prize?
No, it isn't, because actually the first goal is I want to get the best out of everyone, and the second is that bodybuilding criteria is just nothing which is very strict, and what you can plan or what you can predict. Tastes are so different, judgings are so different, and body types are so different. And if you take a look at all of my athletes, they all have different strengths and they all have different weaknesses. And in the end, a judge will decide which strength he likes more and which weaknesses he finds more annoying. So my job is to get everybody to his personal bests, which brings me the chance to get more wins or better placing. But the decision is done by the judges, and actually, it's hard to predict that.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think anybody expected that.
Nobody believed us.
Do you think the judging criteria is clear?
It always depends on who is competing.
A lot more pro cards are being obviously awarded.
That's just a brilliant thing.